Will not replace
Definitely
Robbie.
not. We could never replace Robbie.
We did it all wrong, I think. We sat there as a pack, like a gang, told him what we thought of him, that he needed to pull his weight, what's he going to do.
And they said, you know, we've been thinking about, this is how I saw it, we've been thinking about doing this next tour as a 4-piece. What do you think?
He completely went on the defensive, just sort of completely like, listen, if you want me to leave, I'll go.
Got a picture of you beside me. Got your lipstick mark still on your coffee cup. Oh yeah.
Vocalist, he writes all of the songs, right, Gary?
Uh-huh.
Yeah? And you wrote that one as well?
I sure did.
And what was your inspiration for that one?
Actually, this ring was the inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the band might have lost with Robbie's departure, if anything at all, in your mind?
Well, we have lost. I mean, at the beginning, it actually felt worse than it is now, obviously. Time is a great healer. But I'm just dead disappointed because Take That to me was always the 5 of us. You know, they just think of Take That and think of 5 people. But I suppose I'm getting used to it now. I am getting used to it, and I think as time goes on, I mean, we certainly want to keep going for a number of years. It's this you know, this isn't just something we're just, you know, passing time by doing. We've got big plans for our future. You know, we've got a good 3 or 4 year plan still, you know, between the 4 of us.
And everybody knows in 6 weeks that you're not going to exist anymore in the in this way. So
it's nice. We all have to say our proper goodbyes to each other now over the next week.
Robbie really wants to be free now, let's say that. I heard about him playing football in Barbados and he's really fat and stuff like that. Is that something, just letting yourself go after being so disciplined for all the time? Do you understand what he's doing?
I think Jason's already answered that question. You're free in your frame of mind. It's whatever vibe you're on. And, yeah, I like that answer. And if he feels free out of the band, then maybe he wasn't free when we was in it, but he's no different than any of us. It's what the state he put himself. I mean, I've spoken to Rob since he left the band, and he's attacking the boys or myself. I just think it's very disappointing.
I've said a lot of nasty things about Gary, and you know, I've never wished him harm. Do you know what I mean? That's not something that I've wished upon him. And I've been about where his records are going and what's happening, and he's becoming a bit of a laughing stock. And that's not fair. Do you know what I mean? He does write good pop songs. He does write good pop songs. It's a shame. It's a shame what's happened.
You think that I'm strong. You're wrong.
I feel often very guilty for not noticing a lot of the things I'm now told Robbie went through. I seem to miss a lot of those things. I never noticed him drinking. He always used to smoke. I remember the drugs starting. I don't remember the drink. I think the biggest problem with Robbie, Gary, is that we were both trying to do the same thing. We both wanted solo careers. Everybody loves a fight out.
I don't think you understand. I'm not coming back. And then I started to cry.
I was shocked. I was probably at my worst point personally. I was on a massive confidence, the biggest my ego's ever been, and I reckon Robbie was probably in a similar place. We decided to go on as a 4-piece because, one, we had a huge tour. We could have lost, I mean, a lot of money. Shows, we had to do them. So we decided between us, right, come on, knuckle down, let's go and do them on our own. You know, if anyone wants their money back because Robbie's not in the band, we'll give it them back and we'll resell the tickets, no problem. But
and Robbie?
Oh,
Robbie was a very good guy.
Robbie was very funny lad. A young lad.
Crazy. I know it down. It's true. Down is your girlfriend now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And you
I think at this point in our careers that things have to settle a little bit more now. It's not so much of a wild life anymore. It's important to have a real stable person behind you, someone who wants you for you, not what you are. So, beautiful. Caught up with me, haven't you, Tom?
And then we all went on holiday at Christmas, and that's when the band ended. Break, we all went away and had time to think, and you know, it's not what it used to be. There used to be 5, now there's 4. It's not take that anymore. And at that point, it seemed like a good time to do a greatest hits and go our separate ways.
I've brought a little something.
Hey! It was a naivety, in a way. Oh, I think there was a fun element to what we were trying to do. I don't think we took ourselves too serious.
What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was horrible, actually. But it lasted about 2 years, and of course your instant reaction is that you want to make it, you want to turn it all round, you want to make it better, and it seems like the harder you try and make it better.
And Robbie is more a solo player, is it?
He's a big character, isn't he, Robbie? And you know, it's hard to say why and all the rest of it. Maybe he just wanted it more than...
It was actually one of the first few songs we wrote, Patience was. And it's a story, really. It's a relationship song. And what's interesting is that with the title Patience, it almost relates as well to us being away 10 years. And so it's worked quite well.
That's what we did. So we thought it would be a good time, maybe now, 10 years on, to do a proper detailed documentary with the 5 of us in it and the real story.
Downloaded all the Take That albums a few months ago and listened to all of them. And I remember thinking, he's a genuinely crap songwriter. As time's gone by and a bit of maturity has come to me, and he is an amazing talent. But I think with Gary, I think there's a strange mixture of guilt from my part on what I said after I left the band, and also knowing that because I don't think as a person he could see how he was or what he did or how he acted or how he behaved 12 years ago. You know, I was a person then that I'm not now. You know, and people move on. And yeah, there wasn't a goodbye properly, and maybe there will be in the future. But right now, I don't think I could be in the same room with Gary.
Something I wasn't. Maybe I should have been. Maybe I should have tried that.
Is it kind of a difference of atmosphere though? Do you feel you're a different band this time?
Well, I think people do ask us that a lot, and I think that I don't think Rob could have been here with us at this point. We're on different levels completely at the moment. He's been successful for, you know, 10 years when we've had sort of 10 years off. So I think it's right to be like this. Whether we'll ever be back as a 5 is the big question, I think. And I think possibly we all feel that there'll be a day when we might be.
Well, we haven't spoken a word to each other yet. We don't know how this is going to go.
Could go either way, this, mate. Yeah. What about the game itself? What brings you? Because neither of you are fans of these two.
By the way, Robbie and the relationship there, it was a dark time, a time when he would be kicking you at every opportunity he could, but then you met again after the tour.
We met earlier this year, in the middle of the tour, actually. Yeah. It was nice, you know. And of course, for the last 10 years, I've just seen him on TV shows and things. And as you sat opposite him, you just remember him as just the guy that you knew for all those years. So it was actually a really nice evening.
Did you know that he was going to be there at the after?
I knew about half an hour before, so I had no pre-warning.
What did your heart do when you were told?
I don't know. I was trying to predict how I was going to feel. You know, I was trying to work out whether I was going to be angry or what, but I wasn't. As soon as I saw him, you know, we all love Rob, so...
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe his career is also having a bit of a shadow at the moment, so you can understand how he feels now. Yeah.
Would you have liked Robbie to have joined the reunion?
I think we all still dream of a day when we can all be on the stage together, even if it's just for one song, you know. I think it will happen.
Wow. When was the last time you saw each other naked?
It was a long time ago, because I got a complex very early on in the band.
Why?
And everybody didn't like my pubic hairs.
What do you mean? What was wrong with
Robbie,
them?
really, wasn't it?
Used to take the mick
Used
out
to
of your
really
hairs.
take the mickey out.
I remember that.
And so from that day on, I never took my underpants off in front of anyone ever more.
If and when Robbie will ever join you guys back on stage again. You know, I know you must get a bit tired of this, but it's the question, people, because it does seem odd that he hasn't. Is the door still open for him from your side?
Well, let me just ask you about Robbie, because everybody always asks you about Robbie, and I know it drives you mad, but you're more pally with him now. You're going to football with him.
This year especially, I think we've all got back into Rob's life a little bit, and it's been really nice getting to know him again. It actually feels like no time's elapsed at all when we're all together.
Okay.
So it's been very, very nice getting to know him again.
Robbie may or may not join you on stage. Now, presumably there's pretty much an open invite. There'll be a fifth mic on the stage if he wants to, because of the things he said about you over the last few years, and him feeling awkward about coming in and being in the same room as you. But in a way, that's broken the ice there. Yeah. He's already said several times, he even said on this show a few weeks ago that, you know, he very much respected you as a songwriter. He'd said bad things about you. He regretted saying that. And I think maybe now that he's had that out, then he's had the chance to address that somewhat, he would feel more comfortable. Yeah. Was there ever bad blood, though? It must have really pissed you off hearing some of the things he said about you.
Oh, definitely. If you'd have asked me that 7 years ago, I'd have given a different answer. But I don't know what it is, whether it's just being out of the limelight, having a chance to think clearly without having all that circus around you. But it's just not even an issue, is it? Yeah. It's really nice to do something. You know, Rob's in the studio making a new album at the moment. We're on tour in the summer. It will happen one day, I just don't know when.
He'll tell you himself, he's quite changeable.
We've been spending a lot of time with him, the communication's there, and we're really happy there's a friendship between us, and that's the most we can hope for at the moment.
Yes, he is welcome.
Absolutely, yeah.
My wife calls him my boyfriend. I call him my captain. To you, Mr. Gary Barlow. Words come easy when they're true. People spend a lifetime this way, and that's how they stay. Oh, what a shame.
Okay, it is that kind of Brokeback Mountain thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I reckon so.
Who was
off?
That wasn't planned. We just did that.
That was just documentary footage.
Stock footage of you guys.
You know, they quite often stare into each other's eyes lovingly and take their clothes off.
Any minute.
Just happened to be a camera there that day. Down, went to the hotel, got in a room, had a few drinks, chatted about stuff, and it was very, very exciting, very liberating.
Just about not having Rob in the band. I feel like this time meeting Rob, I've met him for the first time, really, because I think we all knew each other in the 90s, but I don't think, outside of work, we really knew who we were as people. So it's been really actually cool getting to know Rob again, and I actually think musically we're buzzing so much from the stuff we've written that we're just at the start, really, of what's ahead. I think there's a lot more to come.
Answer it again. Oh, we will.
Oh, we will.
Well, yeah, I know. So I was in Los Angeles. The boys came out to mix Circus.
Circus, yeah.
And I can't remember who it was who phoned me. It's probably Marky, or somebody sent me an email saying, we're in town, why don't we all get together? And I was very nervous because there was 4 of them, and I've said some very nasty. Everybody came up, and then we sat down and me and Gaz had the big chat, didn't we?
Now you've done a few weeks of promo together, are you sick of each other, or are you still heavily in the bromance?
Yeah, where are we at?
Really, I think we're in the middle of the bromance.
We're still in the middle of the bromance.
Honeymoon phase.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Is it lovely?
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
I wake up and say, good morning, Rob.
Yeah.
Says good
morning. Oh, and I go, brush your teeth.
That's an exciting one for us. I mean, that's kind of been our dream for the last 15 years, to get everyone back together and have something good to play.
In a world of fools breaking us down, when they all should let us be, we belong to you and me.
and Gary in particular, I was incredibly hard on. Sounds sexual. But that's the problem, Gaz. I've always loved you in a gay way.
You wrote it with a good friend of yours.
I did write it with a good friend of mine, Mr. Gary Barlow, the captain. Not tense at all. Gaz comes over to Los Angeles, takes over my attic, sits there with his laptop, gets treated like a king all day, and I go in up there and we sit there all day laughing, basically, about what we can or cannot say on songs. You know, he comes to my house and I'm writing songs with him, and yeah, I'd like to do that again, please.
Are you talking about that with them, or...?
Oh, well, I keep sending them emails.
Well, I mean, you just told them, didn't you?
Yeah, I keep sending them emails every month and a half going, hey,
guys,
remember when I said, let me back in? Let me back in. You know, so I keep my fingers crossed that at some point they will.
So